Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is for you. My name is Eva Marie Everson. I'm the CEO of Word Weavers International and the director of Florida Christian Writers Conference. And I know you're used to seeing Taryn with me when I do these interviews, but she's not here today. She's off gallivanting. We don't know where she is. She tends to do that from time to time. Actually, Taryn does a lot of volunteer work, and so she is super busy today, but that means I get to interview Michelle Medlock Adams, my dear, dear friend, all by myself. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Eva. Thanks for having me. We miss Taryn, but
Absolutely.
I always like to
Yeah.
be with you.
Yes. So we actually have nicknames for each other. I call her Yelly Yelly. She calls me Eva
Eva
Diva. We
Diva.
go
That's right.
way back. You know, Michelle, years ago, Alton Gansky said to me, and Alton at that time was the director of the Blue Ridge Conference, and Alton said, Michelle is a triple threat.
Aw.
Because you can talk about writing for children, you talk about writing nonfiction books. These are two things that you are incredibly gifted in, and you are also a gifted speaker as well. So we have had you at the Florida conference for many, many years now,
Yes.
teaching the children's track. A couple of years ago, we shifted you over just a little bit and put you in the nonfiction track. And of course, you glowed there, just like you glowed with children's book writing. This year, you're doing nonfiction again. Tell us more about yourself, and then tell us about the continuing class that you'll be teaching for us in a month and a half.
Thank you for all of that. I love Alton Gansky. I haven't seen him in a while. That's such a kind thing that he said. Well, I will say my background, I was a journalist. So I went to journalism school at Indiana University, go Hoosiers. And I started my career, I was a nonfiction girl. That was it. I mean, I never had any desire to write for children or write any kind of fiction. I just thought they always say that the truth is what can be more outrageous than fiction.
Yes.
And I found that to be true. And there was always so many interesting people to interview. And then I love to do devotions. And there was just, I never tired of nonfiction because there's so many different ways you can write nonfiction, so many different genres. And so though I started in newspaper, I quickly moved to magazine after working for the Associated Press. And I did a lot of, I was like education reporter and police beat reporter and entertainment reporter. And then I covered sports, which was really, really fun. And then, we had these two little girls and I'm like, this isn't really conducive to having children be on the sidelines covering ball games with two little toddlers. So God moved us to Texas for me to work for I was a features writer for a international magazine called The Believer's Voice of Victory. And it was there that I learned about ghostwriting. And that's also where I got pulled into writing for children. And I say pulled into it because I was like, yeah, this isn't, I have kids, but it doesn't mean I know how to write for them. Like, I don't even know. This is not really something I've ever desired to do. I'm a pretty good rhymer, but God had all it worked out. So because I've had great success with my children's books, and I have over 117 books, and 2/3 of those are children's. Everybody always asks me to teach children's, which I enjoy doing. I do that at a lot of conferences.
Sure.
But it's really fun to get to teach nonfiction because that is sort of where I cut my teeth in this business. And that is what I continue to do. Andy Clapp and I did a book called Springtime for Your Spirit, a devotional sort of about new beginnings. And it just got Devotional of the Year, the Christian Market Book Award.
I know. So, I was there.
I know you got the big award. I was so proud of you. So proud of you. But that was really like, it's good to know that that I can do more than one thing. And I truly do love to write nonfiction. So I love that. I remember when Taryn first emailed me a year ago, because I taught this last year at Florida,
yes, you did.
this nonfiction track. I was kind of puzzled. I'm like, I just started my own children's book imprint. You're having me teach nonfiction. Did you not get the memo? I'm just not sure about that. And so it was really, it took me a little bit to figure out, what do I have to say? And I realized I'm like, well, I have a lot to say because I've done a lot of these. So I love it. We had the best class last year, and so many of those people, I've watched their success because I follow them, and I've seen that they're getting published over and over again, not just in books, but also in magazine, because we talk a little bit about that. So I loved teaching it last year. I'm even more excited to teach this year because I know what worked and things to build on. And I learn more things every year. We don't just stay stagnant in our craft. We continue to learn so that we can then teach. So, you teach and you learn as you go, and then you reach back and you help others. And so I'm fully about that. So it's going to be a great class again. I hope I get some repeat people. There was like, are you teaching this stuff? I'm like, I never teach the same class. Like I might have some of the same information because some of it's going to always apply.
Sure.
But we learn new things. So it's, I mean, are you like that when you teach us? Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
always something different to bring, because I've learned something new since I last taught you. So.
Yeah, exactly. So like, give us an idea very quickly. What are some of the things that you hope to cover?
So in the nonfiction, I start off kind of an overview talking about all the different kinds of nonfiction, because, and I peruse the room to see who's working on what. But we're going to cover nonfiction Christian living books. We're going to talk about some ghostwriting. A lot of people are starting to get into that. It's the most lucrative thing that I do, that continue to do. We're going to talk about nonfiction, of course, the different outlets like in magazines and even a little bit of children's nonfiction. We'll just cover that briefly. But the thing that I didn't get to teach fully last year, we touched on it, but I had to kind of, what do I want to say, work it out a little bit more in my brain before I could teach it. It's now worked out. You'll be glad to know. So I'm going to really hit this hard, but it's something that really was kind of life-changing for me as a journalist when Bethany Jett, who's one of my best friends in the world, she and I did a book called They Call Me Mom together a couple of years ago, and it was an ECPA finalist. So we were real proud about that.
Yes.
But that particular book, when we tell the story now because our agent can no longer kill us. But when we actually went away for a week to write together in Florida, went to this little, I remember messaging you. I was trying to go where you went, and we got someplace that was so not where you go.
Told you not to go there.
I mean, only people that visited there were gators. That was it. Like we were like, it's where all Criminal Minds stories start. Like they'll never find the bodies. That's where we were. Yeah. So we were there to write, and we, the very first night, you unpack your groceries, everything, and we sat down to look at our stuff, and we both almost simultaneously said, we hate this book. Like, we sold this book, we've already got a contract in this book, and we hate what we're doing, and it just doesn't seem relevant. It doesn't seem like it's real or raw or any of the things you want it to be. It doesn't seem like it's about the audience. It seems like it's about us. And so we want our readers to really glean from this and to be something they need, not just a cute little story we have, and then we'll add a little thing on for you. That's how I kind of always done my books. And so we just hit it, and we started over. I mean, we didn't tell anyone because we didn't get the book done because we started over, but it was, obviously it worked. It's done well. And it was a finalist for ECPA Best Devotional, but I learned a lot. Bethany learned a lot, and I've continued to build on that. That particular thing is, we're going to hit that really hard for a couple of days because it changes your outlook. It all of a sudden becomes not about something that you want to say, but about what your readers need. And when you preface all of your nonfiction work with that, you'll never be without work because people need your books. They're going to continue to buy them. And it also it changes your heart in the process because you're always, they always say, think of a particular reader when you're writing, but this really causes you to think about those readers. What do they need? What does God need for me to say, for them to hear? What is that?
Yes.
And that's
not just what you need to say.
That's right. It's not just like, this is something I'd like to say. I have a really cute story about this I'm going to share, and I'll put a cute little scripture with it and a prayer, and then you'll get something from that.
Yeah.
Listen, that is how I did a lot of books, and it's not that they didn't do well. Right. It's just that this is a different heart, and it makes it so much more exciting to know that you're writing something relevant, right? And so there's a whole method to this madness. That sounds really great, but I actually have some key research things and ways to make this happen so that you're truly giving your readers what they need and want at this time.
Yes. So that class is going to be great. We know you're teaching a lot of other classes as well. It's always fun to have Yelly at Florida Writers Conference. Now we want an opportunity for our listeners to get to know you a little bit better, just on a personal level. So I'm going to ask you a list of questions, and these are just, random questions. Well, I know what they are. But
that's good.
Yeah, we don't want you to think. We just want you to answer. Okay.
Well, that's not hard.
So here we go. Ready? Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Dachshunds in particular. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We are both dachshund fans. Yeah.
Love them.
Yes. Chocolate or chips?
Oh, chocolate for sure.
Tea or coffee?
Neither.
I know you're not did not drink either one.
I've got my little Diet Coke, it's actually Diet Pepsi, Cherry Pepsi, my little mixed drink. That's your mixed drink. Yeah.
That's your mixed drink. Although I think you and I go to a tea room quite often. Well, at least once a year. And I think you do.
Yes.
Don't you?
It was my first tea cozy thing. Yeah. Remember they put it on the table. I'm like, what is that? It looked like the thing I keep my jewelry in. I was like, what is that? Eva's like, I can't take her anywhere. I mean, I don't know. So She educated me and told me what to get. And I actually did enjoy it, but I've not had it since. I get it once a year when I'm with you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I love afternoon tea. I think it's wonderful. Okay. So Well, I think you almost answered this, but Coke or Pepsi?
Oh, Pepsi for sure.
Yeah.
It's sweeter.
Morning or evenings?
Evening, night owl city, you know that.
Yeah, I know you are. That's where you and I like part way.
Differ.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm in bed really early. I'm up really early.
Yeah.
Okay, mountains or beach?
Beach.
Mm.
Love the beach.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas, I mean, obviously, I think it's most people's, but boy, I mean, October 31st, I'm putting away anything fall and
Yeah.
breaking out all 8 trees.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Love
Exactly.
it.
Okay, so you're having dinner with a famous person, dead or alive, and it's not Jesus. Who is it?
Oh, I get to choose anybody?
Yeah.
I want my mom.
Oh,
I just want to have I had
love
just
that.
another lunch with her. So many of the things that she told me over the years come back. And I think, oh, I wish I could hear that story
I
again.
know.
Or
I know.
yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
appreciate them when they're here, but so much more. I would choose my mama.
Yeah. So the fact that I said a famous person, but you're like, that is the most famous person in my heart.
In my life. That's
Yeah,
right.
I know. I know. I get
She's
that.
my
Totally
famous person,
100%. I just found an old photo the other night. I've been putting together some old photo albums from the photos I brought back from my brothers who had bought out my interest in our childhood home. And so everything that was from our childhood was still there. And I'm finally, 3 years later, still going through some photographs. And I found this photo. Apparently, my mother and father had decided we would eat outside. And there was a picnic table set up, and it was right in front of the clothesline, and there were sheets on the line. I mean, it was just so 1960s. We're sitting there, and I took the picture. Apparently, I'm not in the photo, but I definitely remember the times that we ate outside. My father's there, my brother is there, my brother's best friend, my mother, and I'm just like, oh, to do that one more time.
Yes.
To just eat with my family one more time. Okay.
I agree.
Actually, not the final question. Pineapple on pizza?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I vote for that. Anything on pizza works.
Right. And this is the final question. If you knew tonight's meal was your last meal, what would it include?
Oh, that is a good question. It's such a weird, I eat like a little kid. I would have a corn dog. With lots of mustard. I love corn dogs, and probably some of those crinkle fries that I never let myself have because I'm always worried about carbs. But I would have crinkle fries and a corn dog with lots of mustard and my typical, mixed.
Your little mixed Pepsi drink. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be the happiest kid ever. Yeah, that would do it.
I just interviewed Bethany, and she was like, I just want to go to Olive Garden and just have the breadsticks and Alfredo sauce.
Yes, we'll probably choose that.
Yeah, exactly. Carb City. Yeah, I think I would be like right behind you. I don't know if you've ever been to the Varsity in Atlanta. It's like a famous dive, right? And especially big with any college kids and all of that, which is, I guess, what's called. But lots of famous people have been there. But they have a slaw dog that just will.
Forget it. Yep.
Oh my gosh. And if I go to Atlanta and my uncle says, let's go to the Varsity, we all know what we're getting. We're all getting slaw
dog.
So,
see, every time I go to Florida, I have to get key lime pie. You know this because in the Midwest, you don't get real key lime pie.
Yeah.
So that would probably have to be my dessert for that.
That would be, on
favorite
the dessert menu. Yes.
Although Dennis makes a really good, what was that cake he made us that time?
Pig licking cake.
Okay, that would be in the front. That I might see if I could have a slice of that as well, because that was one of the best things I've ever had in my life.
Oh yes. Well, when you come back in October, we'll have some pig licking cake for you.
So good.
As if you have not registered for Florida Christian Writers Conference and you would like to, go to word-weavers.com/Florida events. And Florida is spelled out Florida. Again, that's word-weavers.com/Florida events. Now, you will notice that we are sold out of hotel rooms at the site. However, we have a deal going right now with the Hampton, and they are offering just the same deal. What you would have paid to stay on site, you will be paying at the Hampton. It's only a few miles down the road. You can have breakfast there. So you have free breakfast, free high-speed Wi-Fi, which you're not necessarily going to.
This is true.
Conference center, because we are nestled in, tucked in with a whole bunch of live oak trees. It's an absolutely beautiful location. That does make Wi-Fi a little spotty from time to time. And also, if you are a Hilton member, you will get points on your Hilton membership. So there's some benefits to staying off site. When you register, there will be a link for you to click on. It will take you to the proper site at the Hampton Inn so that you can get that block deal. Okay. So thank you, Michelle, for joining us today. And it's like afternoon now for us. I don't know about for you, but it is for me. And thank you for joining us. We hopefully will see you in about a month and a half at Writers Conference 2022.
Yay. See you.
Whatever you're doing out there, behave yourself. All right.
We won't.
Bye. Yeah, we won't, but you better. All right. Bye for now.